Evening everyone, welcome to DOdaily, Monday Motivation. It's Des here, kicking off the new week in high spirits, plenty of positivity and enthusiasm, looking forward to everything that's in store. One or two things could dampen my spirits slightly, but I'll come back to that, trying to stay on top of things and make sure I have the absolutely best one I can. Hopefully you do too. Hopefully you've had a great weekend. I've done plenty. I'll come back to that. So just all in all, really looking forward to what's ahead and how I go about doing it. As I always say on DOdaily, this is my honest and relatable take on how things are going, how I'm feeling. If you like to support the channel, please give this episode a thumbs up. Please do subscribe, that's really important. Still trying to build this thing, still trying to, release some of my thoughts, process everything that's gone before, and in some way, shape or form, try and encourage other people to take on board one or two things I say, one or two ideas about how I get through things. It is about the ups and downs. So like I said there at the start, there's one or two things that could possibly dampen my spirits. Anybody who's been watching, anybody who knows me, knows how much I love my running, knows that this weekend is the London Marathon, and I've been really in a great place with that. Lots of good activity, building towards it. Not perfect mind, but on Saturday I kicked a curb after a run. Never thought too much of it. Bit achy yesterday, didn't want to say too much to sort of put the kibosh on anything, but today my ankle's really hurting and this is not what I need. But I'm hoping it's just a few days, it's a little bit bruised and I can just pick up where I left off. I knew I wasn't going out there to absolutely smash it this time anyway. One or two runs, whilst it'd have been ideal, particularly a longer run over the weekend, which I didn't manage to get in, would have been, like I say, ideal. But at this point, with the fact it's not been perfect anyway, it shouldn't do too much damage if the ankle holds out. Really hoping it does. In some shape or form, I plan to get behind this London Marathon. It's been a long time coming, already deferred from last year. Of course, raised lots of money and want to do it with Kay as well. Part of what we're doing is kind of finishing off all the wedding celebrations. We had planned it for soon after, but again, because of that deferral, it didn't quite happen. She did it last year, both of us are doing it this, and I really didn't need this. Over the last few years, I've bemoaned injuries and bad luck and illness and losing motivation because of those things, and it's just got me at the wrong time when I'm flying in my head as much as my fitness with my running. It could really stop me in my tracks. But like I say, trying to be really positive about it. It might just be a case of hurting and aching for a few days and then managing the rest of the week to get through it. Really didn't want to go into it like this. I wanted to be the best I possibly could. But sometimes things happen, don't they? Things stop us in the track and can knock us off a stride. And I guess whilst lots of things, I spoke last week at length about how things could knock us off a stride and how some really serious things impact the things we do day to day and we can't control. Can't control this one either, but what I can control is the way I'm feeling and try and be positive, and hopefully it's just a blip. I've said many times on DOdaily, it's been proven that 85% of worry is unfounded, so hopefully it's a case of that. I'm gonna be positive about everything else I'm doing. Another busy day at work, been out, done a little bit of coaching. The guys absolutely smashed it. Take so much from that. Whilst I'd love to be out there getting in my final few runs, just making myself that little bit fitter, a little bit better, keeping whatever sharpness I've got, and believe me, it won't be that sharp, it'll be quite blunt if anything. I still get so much from it. So getting on here, saying a few words, just kind of letting everyone know where it's at despite my concerns. I'm still happy, I'm still looking forward to things, still got a big weekend ahead. lots to do, travelling to a football, then travelling down to London, got guys coming down and other guys from the running club taking part. So I can't write it off just now, can I? The last thing I want to do is write anything off, and I'm pretty adamant I'm not going to, regardless of the way I feel. Not that that's advisable. I would never advise anybody to run with injuries, and if it is particularly serious, then we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But that's where I'm at the moment. So much is going on. Again, I spoke about this last week. So much is going on, which is not quite what I want. It's not easy, but it's not affecting me too much because I'm able to maintain this positive spirit. That's mainly because of what works for me, doing what works, the running, getting in some good activity, getting in some long runs, feeling good about it, doing it with a smile on my face again, through the pain, of course. But the important thing in all that is to remember what works for you and do whatever it takes to stay in a good place. There's lots out there to test us, whether it's something like an ankle injury before the London Marathon or some of the more serious things I spoke about this week. It's about using Monday as a fresh start. I did this little injury, whatever it is, bruised foot, dodgy ankle sprain. I don't know the extent of it at the moment, but I did this over the weekend. Nothing I can change today, nothing I can sort imminently. Hopefully, like I say, within a couple of days it eases up, and then we can really press on, we can really look forward. So I'm using Monday as a chance to be positive. Like I say, done some of the things I've done. I had a good weekend again. Got in a good run on Saturday. Didn't feel great doing it actually. Think if I'd not banged my foot, it would be a case of a little bit of paranoia. If people don't know, that's something all us runners get before a big race. You feel a tweak, you feel this. But I couldn't actually remember what the injury was until a friend reminded me that I kicked a pavement whilst I was out with the dog, and they were there and saw it. So it was baffling me. I was kind of wondering whether it was that. That said, it is a little bit swollen and bruised, so I knew I'd definitely done something. But again, I've just got to keep pushing through, haven't I? And like I say, whilst things aren't particularly easy, it's dealing with the here and now. That's all I can do. I can't worry about how it feels tomorrow, how it's going to feel on Sunday, because I always advise, when things aren't going swimmingly well, as I've touched on several times, just to live in the here and now, and that's what I'm doing. I don't know what's next, and it's not just the injury. That's a perfect sort of metaphor, perfect coincidence to go along with a lot of things at the moment. One or two projects up in the air, one or two things I've enjoyed and worked on, not quite what they were, but again, I've just got to sit firm, sit tight, and normally when we do it and we make sure we don't drop to a mood or a place where we don't want to be, we come through it. That's the way life works sometimes. If you think positive things, positive things tend to happen, and that's what I'm hoping. I kind of adopt that attitude about most things most of the time, but like I say, Monday's a good time to sort of think, come on, let's do this, let's give it a real go, and that's the message every week. It's about being as positive as we can, whatever situations are testing or difficult, finding a way just to make sure we tick from one day to another. However bad it is, it'll be slightly better tomorrow, in whatever situation I'm talking about, not just this injury. So if you're not in a great place right now, all I can encourage is you to look back at all the good things that have happened last week. Look back at all the good things that have happened today. There's always 3 things in any day where it's been good. Even if somebody made a nice comment, if you made a gesture to someone else, paid it forward, somebody said something nice about the work you do, and all these things are worthwhile when we're trying to be positive about ourselves. I find myself right there now. I was there already in reality from what I said last week, but of course with this injury, which is a bit more sort of prominent, a bit more concerning, I've still got to be, well, I've got to dig that little bit deeper, but I've still got to be positive and make sure that I'm really ready for whatever works. Like I say, great weekend, good run, You know, went to the football yesterday, that didn't quite turn out either. But I'm always kind of glass half full with that. Spent a lot of my life worrying too much about football results. Again, something I can't control. Learn how to enjoy the good times and almost find the positive again from the bad with that. That's probably the first place I learned it. But having taken this kind of route of talking daily to try and encourage people just to be that slightly better version of themselves. You know, I got no qualms. I'm telling a near stranger today all about the journey I've made, and it made me feel amazing. It's one of those one of those small wins that I can tick off. You know, when I'm looking for those positives that have happened today, it's one of those things where I can say, yeah, that was good. You know, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? The guys again achieving and several other things that have happened throughout the day, which make me feel that little bit better about myself, a little bit better about what's coming up and what's next. But whatever's getting to us, you know, we can deal with that too. And that's all I'm trying to say to get today, guys. Don't panic. You know, it's just a reminder, whatever's it's easier said than done, I know that, but whatever's getting to you, whatever's upsetting you, you know, there's always a solution, there's always an outcome. It's about not looking too far ahead. We're all a bit guilty of that at times, but we have to sort of live in the moment, take each day as it comes. On a Monday, it's a brand new, fresh start to go again. So, once again, if you've liked the episode, if you get what I'm trying to do here, if you appreciate the messages and somebody who wants to encourage positivity, you know, find the good in all the rubbish things that go on, you know, please give this episode a thumbs up. I really, really appreciate that. And of course, do subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, with some Tuesday training. For the first week in a long time, I've not managed to get out on a Monday for a run. That always adds to my Monday motivation. I'm digging deep, as I've spoken about throughout, especially with what's going on. So if I'd managed to get some of my own activity in, but it's just not been possible. Small dog walk, you know, it's not helped the foot, ankle, whatever it is, to be honest. But I'll be looking to build on that. Hopefully the ankle's feeling much better and I can get out, whether it's a longer walk, a jog, absolutely anything, you know. I'll speak about that and hopefully be more positive about the injury, be looking forward even more to the London Marathon in the weekend, and just checking in to offer some words of encouragement. Until Tuesday training, just doing it.